All right, guys, Curtis Alexander. In this video, let's talk about thiamine or vitamin B1. This is going to kind of be a concise but overall kind of take on vitamin B1. I wanted to do this because there's some what I consider bad information out there in other videos. So let's just start out. Vitamin B1 is water soluble, and why that's important is because your body's not really going to be able to store it. So you're going to be forced to get it from foods or supplements. Okay, now it's critical. One of the big things that vitamin B1 does is it helps you metabolize carbohydrates, and it helps also with amino acid breakdown. Now, what happens with low levels? Okay, now this is where I was talking about some of these bad points that I see in other videos. With low levels of vitamin B1, because we're helping metabolize carbs, right? That's one of its functions. You will have difficulty processing carbs. You can see lactate levels go up, and you can see decreased levels of carbon dioxide. Okay, now another thing to keep in mind with vitamin B1 for glucose metabolism, okay, if you're consuming carbohydrates, and you should be, I've talked about this in other videos, your needs for vitamin B1 go up by 50%. Okay, you need more vitamin B1 to be able to metabolize carbohydrates. The problem that I want to point out is people look at this and go, well, I'm having trouble processing carbs, but people will blame it on the carbs instead of looking at their nutrient profile, one of them being vitamin B1, and going, okay, well, you're not consuming enough of that, so you will have difficulty metabolizing instead of just blaming it on carbs. It's kind of a short-sighted thing to do, in my opinion, and the research supports that. Okay, so the question is, what's the best way to get thiamine? How do you get vitamin B1? A lot of natural foods have it, including eggs, meats, especially pork, fruit, orange juice, mushrooms, even brewer's yeast has some, coffee has some, milk, cheese, seafood. So a lot of natural foods contain vitamin B1. I am in the process right now. I've been tracking the foods I eat and the nutrient profile. I'm not having any trouble getting enough vitamin B1. Most people shouldn't if you are eating natural foods. Does it ever make sense to supplement? I think it can make sense short term. You're going to have to look at your levels, your current diet, and be honest with yourself and go, I'm not getting a lot. In that case, it can make sense to supplement. I'll include a link in the description to a brand I trust. One of the nice things about supplementing, because it's water soluble, you can see really quick improvements. Some people have taken vitamin B1 and noticed more clarity within an hour. Some of these things I'll talk about in a sec. So supplementing can provide pretty immediate benefits. It's not something I'd want to see you fall back on. Again, we want to go from a diet standpoint. What can B1 help with? And conversely, if you have any of these things, it may indicate you're low in B1. So first of all, it's going to help you form neurotransmitters. A couple of those are acetylcholine and GABA. So if you're low in those, you could suffer from things like anxiety. Okay, it can be very supportive of vagal tone, parasympathetic nervous system, so it has a calming effect on the body. A lot of diabetics can be low in vitamin B1. And again, we're coming back to this, oh, I can't process carbs. Well, no, you're probably low in B1. So again, we're coming back to what it's doing. Metformin, if you're taking metformin as a diabetic or you're taking it for anti-aging, whatever it may be, it can deplete B1 levels. So keep that in mind. So obviously we talked about it helps with blood sugar regulation. It can help with PMS symptoms, fatigue, and then memory issues. We kind of talked about people getting more energy and more clarity after supplementing with vitamin B1. The thing that I would encourage you not to do, there is a lot of B1 in these fortified foods, these grains and so forth that we have on market, but they're terrible foods. You don't want to be eating those, so definitely want to stay away from that. Now, I talk about a lot of other nutrients, natural therapies that I personally use and recommend that are safe, effective, and they work. Okay. And that's at curtis-alexander.com. I have a free checklist for you. I guarantee you there's going to be some that you've not heard of or some that you have heard of that you don't understand. and I clarify that in that checklist. So make sure to go grab that. Any other ideas, suggestions on videos you'd like me to cover, make sure to drop it in the comments. I read all of them. I may not be able to respond, but I do read all of them. So I hope this was helpful, you guys. See you in the next one. Thank you.